What an insane week this has been. In a matter of days, my YouTube channel went from 3,000 subscribers to 20,000 subscribers as of today recording this video. And I must say that I am still pretty much in shock from it all. And the timing of all of this happening is crazy as well, because 2 days before all of this happened, when I still had 3,000 subscribers, I put in my 2-week notice to resign from my corporate job in order to focus on being a content creator full time. Now, as I said, this was before any of this happened. This was when I still had 3,000 subscribers and I was still making $200 a month. And on that day, I decided to take a leap of faith, to take a bet on myself, to say that if I really wanted to be a content creator, then this was the way for me to go. And that's why I wanted to record this video, so you guys can see kind of how I did it. So the purpose of this video is to give you 5 steps in order to take your side hustle into a full-time income. This video is going to lay out the exact blueprint that I had in mind when I quit my 9-to-5 job in order to focus on being a content creator exclusively. So before we get into the video, it would really mean a lot to me if you tap that like button down below, as it really does help my channel out and allows me to reach a little bit of a larger audience. However, let's go ahead and get into the first step of turning your side hustle into a full-time income. And the first step to turning your side hustle into a full-time business is to start treating it like a full-time business today. You may be thinking that you're already treating it like a full-time business, and if you are, that's great. You don't have to make any changes. But in the back of your head, if you ask yourself if there any other time that you could put towards your business, is there anything that you could be doing just a little bit more on a day-to-day basis that you aren't doing, then are you setting yourself up in the best way possible to be successful? Another thing about this point is that people don't tend to treat their side hustles or their part-time businesses like a full business because they don't want to invest too much time or too much effort just in case it doesn't work out. In my YouTube channel in the very beginning, for example, I would find myself not making the best quality videos possible because I didn't expect people to watch them. I wasn't trying to make my content fit for 100,000 eyes to view it, but now I am. Even if I only get 1 view on my video, I know that that 1 viewer will hopefully be experiencing the same quality as they would from a channel with 1 million subscribers. And for me, treating my side hustle like a part-time business came in the form of me actually leaving my 9-to-5 job in order to pursue it full time. Now, as I said in the intro, this is a crazy story. I put in my 2-week notice 2 days before my channel got 17,000 subscribers in a matter of hours. And I just had no words for how special that moment meant to me. But in sort of that same sense, I want to ask you this one question. If you could go back in time and talk to yourself when you were 5 years younger, 10 years younger, what would you tell that person? Other than to buy all the Bitcoin that you can or to invest in Tesla stock at the IPO, what would you tell your 10-year younger self? So me, I would tell myself to start on YouTube as early as possible so I can grow with the big wave of YouTube growth. And going back to present day, I think it's easy to look back in time and always wonder what could have been. What could my channel have been if I started in 2015? 2017, even 2019 instead of 2020, what wave did I really miss? But I'm here to try to change your mindset from thinking like that to thinking that what wave could you be missing right now by not putting in your full 100% effort into your side hustle, into your business, into your YouTube channel if you have one. You could be missing the best opportunity of your life right now because you're thinking too much about what happened in the past and not trying to prepare as best as possible for the future. So going into a couple of technicals, the best way to treat your side hustle like a business is to get all of your finances in order. Track your income, track your expenses, track how much you'll pay in taxes. Do all this stuff now so that when you are making a full-time income, you won't be scrambling about trying to find a way to do it then. That will allow you to have the practice and the patience in the beginning to further explode you once you get there. But once you've done this, you're not done yet. You still have a couple of more steps that you have to take in order to turn your side hustle into a full-time business. And the second tip in turning your side hustle into a full-time income is to believe in the idea of delayed gratification. I think that knowing and not expecting much in the very beginning will be important because you will be way less likely to get discouraged when things don't automatically work out in your favor. On my YouTube channel, for example, I didn't make a penny for almost 1 year's worth of content until I was monetized as of January this year. So I believe that with any business or with any venture that you're trying to pursue, understand that the harder you work early on, the more work that you put in early on, the more gratification that you will get later. It is way too easy to look over your shoulder and see what someone else is doing and try to do that exact same thing. But I can guarantee you that if you're just being yourself and if you're doing something that you're passionate about, the ability to make it your job will come. I think I heard a quote by Dr. Seuss or some other kid's author that says that no one can do what you do exactly the way that you do it. So even if there are 1,000 other finance YouTubers, even if there's 1 million TikTokers out there doing the same dance, no one can do that dance exactly the way you do it. No one can make that YouTube video and express their thoughts exactly the way you can. And being yourself is the greatest advantage you have. So as I said, put the work in early. Don't expect much in the very beginning, and find what makes you unique in an ocean full of similar fish. What do you bring to the table? And don't say it's not anything at all, and don't say you're not special, because I thought the exact same thing. When I was making my YouTube channel, I thought that everything that you could think of have already been covered. All of the Roth IRA videos, all of the investing videos, all the personal finance videos, someone had already made a video on that topic. But once I heard that quote by Dr. Seuss, it opened my eyes to thinking that I can make a video like that, but put my own personal spin on it, put my own personality on it, and make it more unique to me. And you can do the same thing with your side hustle or your hobby in order to make it unique and in order to make it a full-time income. However, being unique by itself isn't always enough. And if you're thinking about taking the big leap of faith like I did, then you're going to need to sort yourself out financially before all of this starts. And that leads me right into the next step. Moving on to the third step that you need to take into account when you're trying to turn your side hustle into a full-time income, and especially if you're taking a big risk like I did in quitting your 9-to-5 job, and that is to have a very strong financial plan in place before you leave that consistent income. Now, I understand that the unknown of taking a big leap of faith is sometimes more attractive than planning out every single detail, but if you really want to be responsible and put yourself in the best position possible, I would definitely recommend you have a strong financial plan in place. This financial plan consists of budgets, consists of savings, and also consists of emergency funds and investing. So here's how I laid out my financials when I decided to put in my 2-week notice. I asked myself, how much money would I need to be able to focus on YouTube for 24 months straight without ever having to worry about my AdSense revenue, without having to worry about sponsors or affiliates or anything like that? How much money would I need to have saved in a foundation to where I could do this for 24 months? And in order to get to that number, I had to be really clear about what my family spent and what our income was on a month-to-month basis. And the best way to find out how much you spend each and every month is by creating a budget and sticking to it. Now, because I've always been somewhat of a financially savvy person, I've had a budget since my sophomore year in college, and I've been pretty conditioned to track every single dollar that leaves my bank account. So when it came to the point where I had to ask myself how much money would I need for 24 months, all I had to do was add up all of our expenses and budgets on a month-to-month basis, subtract the contributions that we would put in our investment account every single month, and also subtract my fiance's 9-to-5 income because she's still working. It left me with a number of about $500 to $750 a month. And what I did was took that number, multiplied it by 24, and then told myself that that was the number I had to have in savings in order to be able to leave my job and focus on YouTube for 24 months straight. And basically this amount of money would stay in cash because it will be essentially replacing my paycheck every single month. And any money that I do make from YouTube would just lower the amount that I have to withdraw from that savings balance. So when I had this plan set up for myself personally, I told myself that after the 24 months, if it just seems like I'm not getting any traction, if it seems like I'm not going in the right direction, then I can just use the finance degree that I graduated with and then go back into the workforce and act like all of this never happened. But in the back of my head, I knew that this was the route I had to go. Pretty much from the moment I started working my 9-to-5 job, I knew that I had the fire burner within me to try to do something bigger, to try to be an influence and inspire people to be better about their budgeting and finances. And so far, I am so thankful for the platform that I now have here on YouTube because it is basically a dream come true, and I see it as a reward for me taking that leap of faith without knowing what the future may hold. However, even though you may have the money and the mindset to quit your job and follow your dreams, there are still a couple more steps that you must take into account before you actually leave your job, and let's get right into one of them now. And the fourth step you should take in turning your side hustle into a full-time income is to never be afraid to ask for help. Never be afraid to admit that you don't know everything about what you're trying to do. I definitely don't know everything about YouTube. I probably haven't even scratched the surface of how I can continue to make my channel better and continue to improve in different ways in order to continue to grow in the future. However, I've never been afraid to ask for help. I've never been afraid to watch YouTube videos similar to this one in order to find ways that I did not know before to be better. So if you have a shoe flipping side hustle, for example, maybe you should reach out to some other shoe flippers around a similar size as you so that you both can learn from the experience that you do have. I am an extremely introverted person, but in the 21st century, there's a great way to counteract this. And that is because most authentic, successful people have some kind of online course or some kind of program that you can take in order for you to learn from them, but not actually them telling you live. I've taken a few online courses in my day, and I can say from all of them, I always found value in them if I didn't end up actually pursuing the career that the course was meant for. I've taken courses on YouTube growth, I've taken courses on day trading, and also courses on drop shipping. I've just always been open to learning new things and seeing how successful people were able to be successful, and I think it all boils down to their mindset. So if you're at the very beginning of your journey, whether you want to be in business for yourself or you're just trying to build something on the side, always remember that you are not alone in this. There's always going to be someone who's trying to do the same thing that you are, and both of you guys can benefit from that from each other. If you think I'm someone you can go to for advice about anything, just shoot me a direct message over on Instagram and I'll try to get back to you you as quickly as I can because I like to see other people succeed as well. And I know that this works because when I first got started, I direct messaged a ton of big channels, and I think about 8 or 10 of them got back to me, actually giving me authentic advice about how I could grow my YouTube channel. Some of those creators were Bruce Wayne, Artist Journey, Fisherman's Life, ADHD Project, and a few more. And I thought it was so cool for them to respond to me in order to give me advice to help grow my YouTube channel from the very beginning when they didn't have any personal connection to me at all. So I want to leave this point by saying, don't be afraid to ask for help. There's always going to be someone out there who's willing to help you, and I'm willing to help you for sure. So don't be afraid to reach out. And this leads me into my 5th and last point of this video. And the 5th and last point that I want to discuss in this video in terms of turning your side hustle into a full-time income is that you must always manage your risk. I would not recommend anyone take the route I did and quit their job before their side hustle income covers their monthly expenses, because you never truly know what can happen. You never know what emergencies can occur. You never can truly know what obstacles stand in your way. However, I think there's a fine line between managing risk and not taking any risk at all. And I'm going to backtrack a little and say that in my opinion, you have to take some measure of risk in order to get some measure of reward. If you only invested $1 into a stock and it goes up 100%, your profit will only be $1. But if you invested $1,000 or $10,000 into that stock, your profit will be another $1,000 or another $10,000 depending on how much you invested. You can never get truly rich or truly successful putting in only 1%, being too conservative. Sometimes you just have to put yourself out there, walk on a little bit of faith, and see what happens. And if it works out, that's amazing. You achieve what you set out to achieve. But if it doesn't, you should have yourself in a place where you can come back from it and then work on other things instead. So I guess my main purpose behind this point is don't be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to chase that dream, because you never know how close it could really be. And also, if you are chasing that dream, don't be afraid to have a safety net waiting below you just in case you fall. Because in my experience, you will fall. You will fall a lot and it will hurt. But if you have that safety net, you can get out of it and start flying again. And I guess you just repeat the process until something works. I know that this video was a mouthful, so if you found any kind of value in it, I would really appreciate it if you tap that like button for your boy, as it really does help my channel out. And as I'll say once again, if you're new to the channel, I really appreciate you joining this journey and allowing me to have a platform to where I can help more people. If I can help only one person from my videos, if I can inspire only one person to follow their dreams in life, then I would say that my entire channel is a success. It is absolutely amazing how fast someone's life can change overnight simply by taking a leap of faith. My goal for the channel moving forward is to continue to try to help as many people as possible, whether that's with financial advice or actual money. My goal is try to help or inspire as many people as possible. But if you like content like this and you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.